Hey, welcome to the Dankest Dungeon. Today we're going to be doing more commanders from the Final Fantasy set. Let's go ahead and see what everyone's bringing this time around. Hey, it's Jason, and today I'm going to be playing Sephiroth, Planet's Heir. And my plan? Stab everyone in the back.
Howdy, it's Nate. I'm playing Stiltzkin, Mogul, Merchant. I'm gonna have the best deal out of all of the deals here. I'm going to give them cards in which I don't want, but they want. It's gonna be the best. I'm gonna have the formulations of a plan that might win, but it's gonna be the best.
Good morning, everyone. It's Jackson, this time playing Terra, Herald of Hope. Hopefully today I'll be able to do some Reanimator aristocratic combo shenanigans and win out the game.
Hey Matt, why do you always play combo? I don't always play combo. Don't listen to Ondor's lies. I am playing combo today though. Let's do that.
Welcome to our second attempt at Final Fantasy. Are you all ready to play Final Fantasy 2?
Yeah.
No, that's the one where you punch yourself.
What? I got a 6.
I also got a 6.
I got an 8.
I got a 9.
Okay.
Zidane again for the third time. So Final Fantasy 2, the way that you increase your skills is by doing them. So if you attack, your attack goes up. So you just hit yourself a bunch and your attack and defense go up.
Nice.
This is not a sufficient number of lands, so I will send it back.
This hand plays a mana rock turn 2 and has lands. I don't know if that's good enough. I'm gonna put it back.
I have a land. That's all that matters.
I'm gonna put it back.
This is enough lands, I guess. Sure, why not?
Instant regret. This has lots of stuff to do, but only one land. I'm gonna put this back.
I think I'll keep this.
This hand's quite a bit better. I'm gonna put this on the bottom and let Matt begin the game.
Oh boy! Are you ready?
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I will draw. I'm gonna play Windswept Teeth. That's it, go ahead.
I'm gonna draw, play a command tower, and I'll drop a Mystic Remora.
Bros.
Whenever you guys play a non-creature spell, you gotta pay 4 mana or I draw a card. Go ahead.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I see your command tower. Raise you a command tower. And pay 1 for the merchant himself. A 1/2 with lifelink. I can pay 2 tap. Target opponent gain controls of another permanent I control. If they do, I draw a card. Go ahead.
Command Tower in a monocolor deck is always an interesting choice.
It's flavor.
If you say so. I'm gonna play a Bloodstained Liar. Pass the turn.
I'm gonna fetch at the end of your turn and go get a surprise. Is it technology? It's probably technology. I have found a shadowy back street, and when it enters, I'm gonna surveil. Card's good. I'll keep it. I will untap and draw. Guess I'll give Jason a card. Here's a Felwar Stone.
Are you gonna pay 4?
No, I'm not.
I'll draw a card.
Don't expect any more out of me. Pass the turn.
During my upkeep, I will pay for Mystic Remora.
Happy birthday to the fish.
I'll play an island. I'll pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I will play planes. Pay 2 for a spirited companion. I have a weird cat-looking thing, and now I have a dog. When it enters, draw a card. Combat. Jason, here's one.
Okay.
I'm gonna give. Go ahead.
On your end step, I'm gonna crack Bloodstained Liar. I'm gonna go get a Trio. I will play Swamp Return into a Talisman of Conviction.
Are you gonna pay 4 for that?
No, you go ahead and draw your card.
Thank you.
And then I will pass turn.
I'm going to untap and draw. I will play this Takenuma Abandoned Mire as a land. I'm going to play Celes Rune Knight. When it enters, discard any number of cards and draw that many cards plus 1. And whenever one or more other creatures you control enter, if one or more of them entered from a graveyard or was cast from a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I am going to discard 1 card and draw 2. The card I'm discarding is Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. I will draw 2 cards in its place. Pass turn.
I'm gonna untap. I'm not gonna pay for fish. It'll die. I will draw. Going to play Otawara as a land. 2 for a Mind Stone, and I'll pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Here is the planes. Here is 1 for a soul ring. Here's a soul ring for a thought vessel. Here is 2 for a blind obedience. Extort and artifacts and creatures my opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. And here is 1 for a deafening silence. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell. Non-creature
spell.
Each turn. Combat. Jackson, take this one.
Uchis.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna play this Arid Mesa Return. A 3, losing 1 from Talisman of Conviction. For my commander, Terra, Herald of Hope. She's a 3/3 and trance. At the beginning of combat on my turn, I mill 2 cards. Then Terra gains flying until end of turn. Whenever Terra deals combat damage to a player, I may pay 2, and when I do, I return target creature with power 3 or less from my graveyard to the battlefield tapped. We will move into combat. I will mill 2, milling a Seasoned Pyromancer and a Mountain. Terra gains flying till end of turn, and then I will pass turn.
I'm going to untap and draw an entire card. Let's start with combat. I'm going to attack Nate for 4.
Yeah, I had to take that.
I will second main cast this Demonic Tutor.
Ugh.
On your end step, I'm going to go ahead and flash in for a Mastermind while I have the mana.
Clean up. I have 8 cards in hand. I'm going to discard this Anger, which as long as I control a mountain, which I don't have, my creatures have haste, which doesn't matter because they enter tapped. Go ahead.
I will untap and draw. I'm going to pay 4 mana for Solemn Simulacrum. I'm going to grab an island. If he dies, I will draw a card, so be aware of that. I'm going to play a Mystic Sanctuary. It'll come to play tapped because I don't have 3 other islands, which I thought I did, but I don't. And I'll pass.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I want to cast a Keeper of the Accord. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if they have more creatures than me, I make a 1/1 white soldier. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if they have more lands than me, I can search my library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Go ahead.
On your end step, I will crack Arid Mesa. Fetch a Sacred Foundry, and it will enter tapped. Then I will go to my turn. Mountain. Arcane Signet. Let's go to combat. I will mill 2. An Elis Core and a Sister Hospitalier. Matt, 3 near.
Sure.
Dealt combat damage. Pay 2. Going to return Sister Hospitalier to the battlefield tapped. When it enters, I return a creature card from my graveyard to the battlefield. I will return Elis Core tapped. I will gain 2 life equal to the mana value, and then I will pass turn.
That's your end step. You have more lands than me do. I'm gonna go get a plants, put them on battlefield tapped.
Also end step, I'm going to cast Flicker of Fate, targeting my commander. I'll exile it and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If I discard any cards, then Jason gets to draw a card. So I will just draw a card. I'll go to my turn then. Draw! Perfect timing. Gemstone Caverns. Alright, 2. I can cast an Altar of Dementia. I can sacrifice a creature to have a player mill cards equal to the creature's power. Pass.
I'll untap and draw. I'm going to pay 3 mana for a Spell Seeker. Comes into play tapped. I can search my library for an instant or sorcery card with mana cost 2 or less. I'm going to put Mana Drain in my hand.
Gross.
Nobody cast anything.
Nothing scary for me. Got it.
Only 1 drops, okay?
Only 1 drops. Jeez, we'll try.
All right, that's going to be it from me.
That's your end step. I'm gonna pay 2. I'm gonna donate you this dog.
Oh, thanks.
Here you go. I'm gonna draw a card. Hey, you have more dudes than me. I'm gonna make a dude. Hey, you have more lands than me.
He's ramping.
Untap. Draw. Here's a Windswept Heath. Here is 2 mana and an Extort. I'm gonna play a Jinxed Ring. So on cast, you're each gonna lose 1. Whenever any card is put into my graveyard from play, Jinxed Ring deals 1 damage to me. I can sack a creature. Target opponent gains control of Jinxed Ring. I will pass.
Mountain. Braids, Arisen Nightmare. 3/3. At the beginning of my end step, I may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If I do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and I draw a card.
You're forgetting the most important part.
It enters tapped.
It enters tapped.
I also gain a life from Elis Core. Combat, mill 2 from Terra. Milling a mountain and a Culling the Weak. She will gain flying to end a turn. Nate. 3 near.
That is rude.
I will pay 2. I will return Seasoned Pyromancer to the board, tapped. I will gain a life on Elis Core. When Seasoned Pyromancer enters, I discard 2 cards, then draw 2 cards. For each non-land card discarded this way, I create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. I will discard this Talisman of Indulgence and this Warren Soul Trader. Draw 2 cards.
When you draw your second card, Fairy Mastermind will draw me a card.
Yes, 2 elementals who will also enter tapped.
What kind of elemental is that?
A spooky one.
Oh,
I will then gain 2 life.
Second man, pay 2. I'm gonna extort it. So you each are gonna lose 1. I'm gonna gain 3. I'm going to Parting Gust. I'm gonna give you a 1/1 fish match.
Sure.
I'm gonna exile Spirited Companion. It's gonna return to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1 counter at the beginning of the next end step.
yeah,
makes sense.
that's fine.
End of second main, going to end step. I will sacrifice Seasoned Pyromancer. Each of you must sacrifice a creature or lose 2 life and I draw a card.
I'll sacrifice this fish.
I'll sacrifice Solemn Simulacrum.
I'll sacrifice this soldier.
I will draw a card when Solemn dies.
Hey, you have more creatures than I do. Here's the soldier.
And I'll pass turn.
Also, step. I'm gonna crack that Windswept now.
I get priority back. I'm going to cast Get Lost on that Blind Obedience.
Sorry, we missed a trigger here. Elis Core will drain you for 1.
Each of us?
From Seasoned Pyromancer dying.
Sure.
Apologies. Continue.
I will mana drain that.
Sure.
I'll have 2 mana for next main phase.
I will go to my turn now. I'm going to cast Murderous Redcap. It is a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. It has Persist. When it enters, I'm going to hit the Fairy Mastermind.
He'll die.
I'm going to sacrifice him to Alter Dementia, and I'm going to mill Nate for 2.
Jinxed Choker and a Weathered Wayfarer. I'd take 2.
Murderous Redcap will come back with a -1/-1 counter. Whenever one or more other creatures I control enter, if one of them entered from a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control. So I'll put a 1/1 counter on this and on this, which will cancel out the -1/-1.
There it is.
Pay 3 Oblation. Owner of target non-land permanent shuffles it into his library and then draws 2. Response to Persist triggering.
Okay.
Hit the altar.
Okay.
I lose a life.
Shuffle this into my deck and draw 2 cards. When this enters, I will deal 2 damage to, I guess, Elias.
Each of you will lose 1.
Well, I've drawn a land now, so I will play it. Bellmeyer, losing 3 life, and I will use it to play this tapped Soul Ring. That's it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna untap and draw. I have 2 mana floating. I'm gonna use that. There we go. 6 mana. It's Sephiroth, Planet Terra. Yeah. Thank you. 4/4 Vigilance. When he comes into play, all opponent's creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controlled dies, I put that many +1 counters on Sephiroth.
In response to Celes, I'm going to sacrifice the soldier. Here you go, Jackson. You
What?
have a ring.
Then in response to that trigger, I will sacrifice Sister Hospitalier. You can have this back.
You lose 1. I'm going to lose 1. There you go.
I don't.
Gonna keep going back and forth? Why not, really?
Why not?
All right, you lose 1.
Stops me from getting counters.
I'll still lose 1 off my commander, but here you
Oh, cool. I will sacrifice an elemental
go. Okay.
And not take a damage.
and not take it.
Okay. Well, I still have this ring.
Okay,
He's
so if
gonna-
that trigger resolves, Redcap will die. It'll come back and persist. I'll put a 1/1 counter on all my stuff. I don't think you need that braids. I'm gonna kill the braids.
Oh, fine.
Hey, guess what? Sephiroth got 2 counters.
Neat.
What a turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and play an Urza Saga as my land per turn.
Yep.
Pass my turn.
At your end step, you have more creatures than me. I make a 1/1.
Nice.
I'm gonna extort this. So you're each gonna lose 1. I'm gonna gain 3. My non-creature spell is this Grasp of Fate. We are going to grasp Terra. We're going to grasp the Redcap, and we're gonna grasp the Mind Stone.
I will respond with a non-creature spell. It's Cloud Shift. Exile a target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under your control. I will target the Redcap.
I will respond to that. I'm gonna pay 1 blue for Pongify, targeting Celeste. Sephiroth will get a counter when she dies.
Yep, I'll kill the Spellseeker.
I'm gonna extort it. Here is my commander again. That's all she wrote.
Planes return. I will replay the commander. I will
Enters
tapped. Anguish Sunmaking, targeting the Redcap.
Yep.
Nice.
I will lose 3. Combat. I will mill 2.
In response to trigger, I'm gonna sacrifice the soldier. Here you go.
Rude. Milling a Smothering Tide and a Swamp.
Taking 2 damage.
Passed it.
Untap and draw Academy Rector. When Academy Rector is put into your graveyard from play, you may exile it. If you do, search your library for an enchantment card, put it into play, then shuffle. Enters tapped. Pass the turn.
Untap and draw. I will play another island. Oh, before that happens, this will take up to 2. I can make a construct now. Go to combat. Matt, 7/7 Vigilance coming your way.
I'll block.
All right, I'll get a counter. Pass turn.
At your end step, you have 7 lands. I only have 6. I get more land. Draw. I'm gonna pay 2. You are now the proud owner of this Grasp of Fate.
A present for me.
I'm gonna draw a card. Play this land for turn. 2, 3. Extort. Here is a Sword of Hearthenhome. When equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature I control, then search my library for a basic land card, put both onto the battlefield, then shuffle. 2. Here you go, Keeper. Get this sword. Combat. Jackson. Here is 5.
Ouch.
Targeting Merchant. A 2. Here's a Zenith Chronicler. Whenever a player casts their first multicolor spell each turn, each other player draws a card. Pass.
Swamp return. I'm going to shuffle my way directly into combat. Milling a Swamp and a Dahada. Taking 2 from Jinxed Ring. Terra will gain flying to end a turn. Nate. 3 in the air.
Yep.
Pay 2. I'm going to return Sister Hospitalier to the battlefield. Tapped. When the sister enters, I will return Braids. Also tapped. I will gain 3 off of Braids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sacrifice Sister Hospitalier. You can have your ring back. End step. I will sacrifice Grasp of Fate. You can have that back. You
Oh.
can have your
Thanks so much.
Mind Stone back. Each of you must sacrifice an enchantment, otherwise lose 2 life, and I draw a card.
I have no enchantments. I guess I'll lose 2.
And I will draw 1 off of Jason.
I'm good.
I will
I have to take the 2.
3 cards in total. Go ahead.
I do take one from my grasp going because I got the ring back.
Are you enjoying our content? Want to help support the show? Consider joining our Patreon for some dank benefits, including access to our full deck list, voting privileges for polls, shoutouts at the end of our videos, and more. Don't want to give us any money? We get it. Subscribing to the channel, liking our videos, and commenting down below also help as well, and are totally free. Thank you so much everyone for your support. Let's get back to the video.
I will untap and draw. Then for turn is Phyrexian Tower. 5. I'm going to cast Karmic Guide. Flying protection from Black Echo. When it comes into play, choose a creature in your graveyard and put that card into play.
I will pay 2 to delay that.
Sure, pass turn.
I will untap and draw. This will get its third counter, and then I'm going to float a colorless mana and go grab an artifact. Soul Guide Lantern into play, targeting Razakath.
Yep.
It'll come into play tapped. Thanks, Nate.
I guess in response, I will sacrifice Rector for double black. Trigger when it dies, you get a counter, and I will exile it to search for an enchantment and put it into play.
Okay.
I'm going to find Necromancy. When it enters the battlefield, I will choose a creature in a graveyard and put it onto the battlefield and turn Necromancy into an aura, enchanting it. I'm going to choose Razakath.
I'm going to use this 1 floating and 2 to Ghostly Flicker. Targets Soul Guide Lantern, Mystic Sanctuary.
Yeah, can't do anything about that.
These will come back in. Soul Guide Lantern will target Razakath.
Yep.
Mystic Sanctuary will come in. I'll get Mana Drain on top of my library.
Necromancy no longer has a legal target. It'll go to my graveyard.
All right, Matt. 9 your way.
I will pitch Solitude, getting rid of Trouble in Pairs, and exile your commander.
Okay, I'll gain 9 life. I'm gonna go ahead and play this Murkwater Pathway. Taps for black, and I'll pass the turn.
That's your end step. And I activate my commander. There you go. You get the ring now.
In response, I'm gonna go ahead and pop Mindstone. Draw this Mana Drain.
Untap. Drop. Pay 2. You own the Deafening Silence now. 3. Extort. Here is an Orzhov Advocist. At the beginning of my upkeep, each player may put 2+1 counters on a creature they control. If a player does, creatures that player controls can't attack me or planeswalkers I control until my next turn. Here is an Extorted Arcane Signet. Combat. Jax. Here's a 5/5 swinging at you.
Stop.
Or 5/6. On hit, we'll bounce the Merchant, and I will pass.
Mountain. Phyrexian Altar. It will enter tapped. 3. For a Playcrafter. When Playcrafter enters, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card.
I will discard Metamorphosis Fanatic.
I will discard an island.
I will sacrifice Zenith Chronicler.
And I will sacrifice Playcrafter.
Oh, I'll lose a life from the jinxed, whatchamacallit.
Yep.
Got him.
Combat. Terra will mill 2. Terza Light Shatter. And an Esper Sentinel. Jason. Grenier.
Okay.
A 2. Returning Sister Hospitalier. Warren Soul Trader. I will gain 3. End step. I will sacrifice Sister Hospitalier. Each of you has to sacrifice a creature or lose 2 life and I draw a card.
So you had more creatures than me. I will make a soldier. I will sack
Sacrifice.
the soldier.
I'll lose 2, you draw 1.
I also lost 2.
These 2 will lose 2, I will draw 2. And I will pass turn.
Upkeep. 2 more turns. I will cast my commander.
I'll counter that. I'll get 4 mana on my next upkeep.
I will send my commander back to the command zone. I will simply pass the turn.
Untapping and drawing. I'm going to go ahead and use this 4 floating. I'm going to pay 8 mana for Sephiroth. All
Neat.
creatures get -2/-2. Does that kill anyone?
It kills my
one.
commander.
Nope.
Yeah, he dies horribly.
All right, I'll get a counter. I'll play an island for turn. Essence Flux, targeting Sephiroth.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll hit a lot more things.
I'll
That'll
come
kill
back
everything.
in, and everything will get an additional -2/-2.
I'm going to sacrifice all 3 of my creatures to Warren Soul Trader, losing 3 life and creating 3 treasures.
Sounds good. That's it. Go ahead.
At your end step, I'll flash in Fella, Exuberant Shepherd. When it attacks, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent. At the beginning of the next end step, return that permanent to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a +1 counter on him. Untap, draw. Here is my Extorted Commander. See if this backfires on me. Here is an Extorted 9 lives. Hexproof, if a source would deal damage to me, I prevent that damage and put an incarnation counter on 9 lives. When there are 9 or more incarnation counters on 9 lives, exile it. When this leaves the battlefield, I lose the game. Jason, swing these guys at you. 5 and 2.
I'll take 7.
On swing, the permanent exile with Felio will be Deafening Silence. When this deals damage, the creature will be the Merchant. End step. This will come back. Felio, get bigger. Go ahead.
Planes return. I think I'm just going to replay my commander. 1, 2, 3. For an Imperial Recruiter, enters tapped. I'm gonna get a Karmic Guide.
I wish I could have a Karmic Guide. That would be really cool.
That would be really cool. Karmic Guide will go into my hand. For colorless, I will sacrifice my 3 treasures for 3 white, and then sacrifice Imperial Recruiter to my Phyrexian altar. For a Karmic Guide,
I'm gonna exile all the graveyards.
Yep, no graveyards.
but my stuff.
You take a damage.
I'll take a damage from this good old ring.
And then I will pass turn.
Upkeep. Next turn, I get to Karmic Guide back nothing. I will draw for turn. I will cast my commander again. I may discard any number of cards and draw that many +1. It's an Agatha's Soul Cauldron. I will play Flooded Strand for turn and then pass.
I'm gonna untap and draw. I'm gonna pay 1 black mana for Reanimate, targeting Spellseeker. When Reanimate hits the graveyard, I will lose a life from the Jinx String.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna grab 3 steps ahead. I'll go to combat. Nate, 5s coming your way.
Yeah, sure. Prevent
Or
that. and
What do you
that.
prevent? Oh, from 9 lives. It just gets a counter.
Yep, I have 8 more lives.
Oh, I forgot about that, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Draw. I'm gonna pay 2. Activate my commander. Here you go, Chase. Here is 9 lives for you.
Yeah, it's nothing I can do.
Extorted. Here's a Charming Prince. So I'm gonna extort it. You guys lose 1. When it enters, I choose 1. Scry 2, gain 3, or exile another target creature I control. Return at the beginning of the next end step. I'm gonna choose to scry 2. Those can go to the bottom. Combat. Matt, here's a 5/6 at you. Jackson, here's a 3/3 at you.
I will take 3.
Guess I'll take 5.
On swing here, this will bounce the Charming Prince. Damage here, it'll bounce Stiltzkin. And we are getting a land, specifically a plains, which I will run out of eventually. End step, Charming Prince will come back. Belly will get a counter. Commander will come back. Scry 2.
Also on your end step, I will sacrifice Karmic Guide for a black to cast into. I'm gonna throw a Dothy Voidwalker into my graveyard. Godlet Shrine for turn. My spell for the turn, non-creature will be Thrill Possibility. Discard this Infernal Plunge. Let's go to combat. I will mill 2. Meat Hook Massacre and a Mayhem Devil. Terra will get flying. Nate, 3 near.
My guy.
I will pay 2. I will grab my Karmic Guide. Karmic Guide will grab Dothy Voidwalker.
I will respond to the target of Dothy Voidwalker. I'm gonna fetch. I'm gonna find an Elegant Parlor and Surveil. Blood Crypt can go. I will sacrifice my commander to make up black.
Voidwalker will enter play. I will pass turn.
Untap, upkeep. I finally get my Karmic Guide. I'm gonna cast it. I'm gonna put my commander into play. They're both tapped, I suppose. I am just going to draw a card with it, and then I'll draw for turn. That's about right. Pass.
End of your turn, I'm going to pay 6 mana. 3 steps ahead, it has Spree. I'm going to pay an extra 3 to create a token. That's a copy of target artifact or creature I control. I'm going to target Spellseeker, and I'm paying an extra 2 to draw 2 cards and discard a card. I'm going to search for a spell that costs 2 or less. We get a Vampiric Tutor. Forgot that was in there. And then I will draw 2, discard 1. I'm going to discard Sensei's Divining Top.
I will take that top.
I'll go under Dothy Voidwalker. And I'll go to my turn. Combat. Nate, 5 coming at you. I'm going to pay 2 mana for a Volatile Stormdrake. When it enters, I'm going to make 4 energy. I'm going to attempt to do a switch with Voidwalker.
In response, I will sacrifice Voidwalker.
I'll have 4 energy. That'll be it from me.
I'm gonna extort this Moon Blessed Cleric. I'm gonna gain 3. When this enters, I may search my library for an enchantment, reveal it, put it on top. I'm getting a Curse of Exhaustion. Enchant player. Enchanted player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Here is it extorted.
Okay, I'll have that. Thank you for all these things.
Here is this extorted. Here is a Grid Monitor. I can't cast creature spells. Here's 2 mana. Actually, you can't cast creatures.
Nice.
I will draw. Combat, Belly at you, Matt. Keeper at you, Jackson. On swing, Belly is gonna bounce the Moonblessed Cleric.
I will sacrifice Karmic Guide for a black 3. I'm gonna fell the Profane. Your Keeper of the Record.
When you sacrifice that, Sephiroth will get a counter.
Alright.
I'll take 4.
When it dies, Sephiroth will get a counter.
End step, Cleric comes back. Belly will get a counter. Put a Seal from Existence on top. That's all I got.
Black for a Carrion Feeder. Black and a red for Zulaport Cutthroat. Carrion Feeder can't block, and I can sacrifice a creature to put a +1/+1 counter on it. And Zulaport Cutthroat drains my opponents whenever a creature I control dies. They will enter tapped. 5 for a Pinnacle Monk will enter tapped. When it enters the battlefield, I return target instant or sorcery card from my graveyard to my hand. Fell the Profane. Combat, I will mill 2. Lanes and a Marsh Flats. Terra will have flying. Nate, 3 in the air.
Yep.
2. Return Karmic Guide. Karmic Guide will return Mayhem Devil.
That's pretty good.
And I will pass turn.
I'm gonna untap. Upkeep, I will not pay for Echo. Trigger Mayhem Devil.
Nate's face.
Ow. 48 more times.
Land for turn is basic swamp. I'm gonna guess Buried Alive. I'm gonna get Revelark, Hoarding Broodlord, and Deathbringer Thoktar. I'm gonna sacrifice Lazatep Quarry and target Karmic Guide.
One to Nate's face.
Yep.
I'm going to get a token copy of Karmic Guide into play. When it enters, I'm going to get Deathbringer Thoktar into play. Whenever another creature is put into a graveyard, I put a 1/1 counter on it, and I can remove a 1/1 counter on it to ping any target. That's it. Pass.
End your turn, I'm gonna pay 1 mana and 2 life for Vampiric Tutor.
You'll also lose a life from Jinxed Ring.
With that on the stack, I'm gonna sacrifice this guy to give this to Nate.
Okay.
You sacrifice the permanent. Nate, take a damage.
Creature died, Thoktar will get a counter.
I will get this card. I'll go on top. I'll go to my turn. Pay 6 mana for a Deadeye Navigator.
Gross.
He'll enter, he'll bond to Sephiroth. Nate, 8/8 Vigilance.
I will declare blocks with this Charming Prince. I will sack the Charming Prince.
Alright, I'll take the ring back, sure.
Nate, take a damage to your face.
I take a damage from the face. I take a damage from my own creature going to my graveyard because I had the Jinx String.
I'll pass turn.
I'm gonna seal from existence. We're gonna exile the Mayhem Devil.
In response, I will sacrifice it to the Carrion Feeder. You can take a damage to your face. Each of you will lose a life and I will gain a life. Carrion Feeder will get a +1/+1 counter.
2 mana. Activate my commander. There you go. You own the Deafening Silence now. Draw. Pay 2 mana. Put the sword on the cleric. Combat. Swing at you, Jackson. On swing. Bounce the seal. 5/4 and a 5/5.
I will sacrifice Karmic Guide and Pinnacle Monk. Each of you will lose 2 and I will gain 2.
Put 2 counters on Thoktar.
For 2 black. Black. Bell the Profane targeting Thalia.
Yep.
Then I will take 5.
On damage, bounce the cleric, get a land. This will re-enter. Oblivion Ring on top, pay 5. I'm gonna extort this Windborn Muse.
I'm dead.
Creatures can't attack me unless they pay 2 for each creature that's attacking me. Here is an extorted Yes Man personal Securitron. Tap them. Target opponent gains control of Yes Man. When they do, you draw 2 cards and put a quest counter on Yes Man. Activate only during your turn. When Yes Man leaves the battlefield, its owner creates a tapped 1/1 white soldier creature token for each quest counter on it. End step. Seal from existence comes back. I'm gonna seal the Phyrexian Altar.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Combat.
In response to the trigger, I'm gonna sacrifice Spellseeker and give this to you. Spellseeker token, so I won't lose a life.
I'm gonna mill 2. Milling Blood Artist and a Plains.
Taking 2.
Taking 2. Nate. 3 in the air, pay the 2 for it.
I don't block.
3 damage to Nate's. I will pay 2. Return Karmic Guide. Have Karmic Guide return Pinnacle Monk. Pinnacle Monk will put Entomb into my hand. I will sacrifice Pinnacle Monk, the ring. You can have that.
Take a
I
damage.
do take a damage.
We each take a damage.
Yep.
You 2 take a damage, I gain 1 life. I will cast Entomb, getting a Grave Crawler. I will pay a black. Grave Crawler will enter play.
Yeah.
Feeder.
In response, I'm gonna pay 2 to bounce Sephiroth. He'll come back. Everything will get -2/-2.
In response, I will sacrifice Cutthroat. Each of you will still lose 1.
When he comes back in, he'll resoul bond with Deadeye.
Then I guess I gotta pass turn.
I'm gonna untap and draw. I'm going to bounce Sephiroth.
Okay.
I'm going to bounce Sephiroth.
Okay.
Neg forward to everything. He's tapped, but he'll have 5 counters. I will go to combat. It's gonna be 6 at Jackson, 3 at Nate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay 2 mana post combat for a Baleful Strix. I will draw a card. He'll come into play tapped. I'll pass the turn.
Draw. 7. Extorted.
Got me.
Extorted. Here's an Oblivion Ring. We will hit Deadeye Navigator.
He'll bounce and attach to Stormdrake.
Okay. I got nothing.
Untapping and drawing. I'm going to cast Urtai Resurrected, destroying target creature. You draw a card. Sephiroth will go to counter. Go to combat. Team will swing at you. So 10 regular damage and 10 commander damage.
I'll go to 19.
All right, good luck. It's your turn now.
Here's my commander extorted.
Nice. Down to 3.
Here's 7. Here's approach from the second side. I'm gonna gain 7 life, and we'll put the 7th from the top.
End of your turn. I'm gonna flicker Deadeye. He'll come back in. When he comes back in, I'll reattach the Sephiroth. Then I'll pay 2 more to bounce Sephiroth. He'll come back into play. Tapped, kill your commander. He'll get 1 counter. And I'll go to my turn. I will untap and swing on you with my commander.
Yep.
Yay.
Hey! So after a fairly long grind fest, I'm able to finally take Nate out with commander damage, bouncing Sephiroth to victory. I think we may have actually miscalculated the commander damage here, and I only hit him for 20, and that's because the initial commander damage I tried to do was negated by 9 lives, but we still counted it because we got confused partway through the game. But if we would have remembered, I could have taken another line here that didn't involve bouncing Sephiroth, so he would have had a lot more counters on him and still could have landed the final blow. So that's that, another Final Fantasy game down, and be sure to keep an eye out for the rematch coming out next week. See ya! Thank you, patrons, especially Jacob M, Paul K, Jared R, Mad Hunter Mage CJ, and Jared N. And thank you to the rest of you as well.